What's up, everyone? Welcome to Pripyat Marshes. We have a casted game between the Russians being played by Barry in the south of the map in the color blue, up against Zoom playing as the Portuguese in the color red up in the north. This is one of my favorite maps. I think it's such a beautiful map and very spacious, lots of hunt, but you do have to get out on the map to control these natural resources. There are trading post lines on the side or behind your starting town center. There's some nice wood treasures, lots of treasures on this map, so very beneficial to control the map, which I think is something that's really important and should be important in the game, or really any RTS. But looks like Barry here is going to get a pretty good run with these treasures. 75 food here and 95 XP, so that's going to be a really nice start for the Russians. Obviously, the Russians are one of the more difficult civs in the game. You don't see them too often. He's dropping three villagers on this house very quickly because he forgot to drop that first house. And you have to get a house down before starting that second batch of 3 villagers for Russia. So he gets that down real quick. A little bit of idle TC time, but it's almost impossible to avoid idle TC time with Russia anyway if you're going for the 14 vill age up. So not a big deal at all. Yeah, picking up another little treasure there. I think he's going to have to go back. Yeah, okay, he does remember. He's just waiting for that shot to recharge. He's going to head back over there. Get that 95 XP, though it's not going to benefit him too much as he is very close to sending that first shipment. And Russia really doesn't ever send a second shipment in Age 1, so that'll benefit him down the road, but not so much in the near term. And let's take a look at this deck. We have Advanced Arsenal, something interesting. No 700 food, which sometimes you will see. I think this is a deck that I'm more likely to pick myself. 700 and 600 coin crates, so you can age up if you really want to. Refrigeration, Manchu. Yeah. And then, what is this? Toy Soldiers increases attack and hit points of Russian heavy infantry. Enables recruits to construct forts if you've lost one. All right, well, we'll see if that comes into play. It very well can, because Portuguese does like to play the late game, or at least get to the late game pretty early. Interesting strategy by Zoom here. Going for the 10-10, he built a trading post of his own. Picking up another treasure here. And his first shipment is the town center trickle. Get resources for each TC. He's aging up with the naturalist, which is 2 villagers and 2 semi-fattened cows. And it looks like he's probably going to be building a market, getting hunting dogs, would be my guess. But first, he does have to build a house, so I guess that's not going to be the case. Just going to gather up that coin and use that for a faster age up. So this does seem to be like a very fast fortress build order, which probably does make sense against Russia. He's probably going to be rushed and idled quite a bit, but if he can get those 3 TPs up very early, he can get a nice little trickle of resources coming in while his TCs are shooting down those infantry. So he's getting close to that 300 coin, heading to the back of his base looking for another treasure potentially. He didn't actually pick up either of these wood treasures, which is surprising, but I'm sure he's headed that way now. And fully expect to see 700 coin coming in as we do take a look at this Portuguese deck. He does have quite a few economic cards, at least 2 of them in Age 2 for the late game. He's stacked out in Age 3 with military shipments and a fort, so he can definitely play this in Age 3. We can also go Age 4. He's got upgrades for the organ guns and the dragoons, but other than the 5 organs and 2 heavy cannons, no military shipments in Age 4. There he goes, picking up that wood treasure now. Second TC already has been placed. And Barry is about to hit up. And this is the benefit of that Portuguese 10-10, that fast age up. You get that TC much more safely placed, and your age up in queue very early. So, interesting build by Barry. He put a transition TP on that TP line, 400 wood age up and 700 wood as the first Age 2 shipment. So, definitely not going to be playing too aggressive here. He's going to go for an economic, well, I mean, I guess you could say advantage in the short term, but in the long term, unless he builds a TC in early age 3, he will fall behind economically to those 3 TCs from Portuguese. But I do see that as a possibility, as he does have 1 idle built. There he goes. Getting hunting dogs, 700 wood coming in. Looks like he's probably going to stagecoach from here. I would guess stagecoach, steel traps, church, and maybe another military building. So he's going to be setting up his economy. 700 coin feels like it might be a little bit early if he's going to try to go age 3 right away. If he had spice trade, that might be a better card to go second. But he probably will just put the stagecoach TPs on coin and slowly get up to that 300 coin that he needs with 700 to age up. So dropping another blockhouse, I like that for some housing space. So he should be up pretty quick, but he will have another shipment available. No church card, that is something to note here. Sometimes you'll see that, but actually, I'll take it all back. He is going to be making some Strellet and likely going to be adding in some recruits with these coin crates. So this will be an aggressive build, just a bit delayed, more for timing and with more economy behind it, since he does have steel traps and 2 TP stagecoach. So he is going to be pumping out units here. As his opponent is aging up, he's going up with the marksman. Does have a stable as well, so he went 700 wood after that coin, getting his own stagecoach 2 TP line. And maybe some Hussar in transition, maybe not. Let's take a look at his vision. He doesn't know anything about his opponent's forward base at this time. He does not have steel traps in just yet. That might be coming from TP wood crate or maybe 1k wood. It's going to be interesting to see what his first H3 shipment is, because he will be up very early, right around 710 or 715. Does have a stable, and he does see some Strellet, so I expect to see a Hussar in queue any second now, as we have Cossack coming as well. So Villager out a little bit dangerously, but going to be able to hide. TC wagon going to pop in back. Very, very important that's that location. Minutemen being called. Cossack going in for taking out these Cazador. Minutemen are here to try and help fight back, but they are going to go down pretty quickly. Still utilizing these Cossack to take out the Strellet or the recruits and get some good value there, despite them losing their lives. And the 5 Dragoons are on the way. 2 TCs are sniping down these infantry. So they are starting to thin out, and they are weaker because they are Russian units, so they will go down eventually. And that is a pretty big investment from Barry. It is getting a lot of idle TC time from his opponent, but will it be worth it? He's going to be forced to retreat now. More units are flooding in, actually. 13, about 24, 25 units here coming to the front of the base. And they are not retreating there. Indeed, staying and sieging houses as goons, and more Minutemen pop out. The Explorer has been revived as well, so he's going in to try to take a fight here. Zoom, now no villagers in production, but he's definitely getting, again, some pretty decent value from these TCs. Now sending Cazador. But just no eco being built up behind this, despite the 3 TCs. And as I mentioned earlier, he does have some trickling resources from these, so it's not completely zero economy, but it is very, very low. And he likely will be able to push back his opponent here with Cazador popping out in a good location there. So this should buy him the time and the space that he's been wanting to get some villagers in production and start building up that economy. Strellet's going to be sacrificed here to push back these Cazador. But Portuguese looking pretty good right now. A nice score advantage, and finally some time to breathe. Sending Halbs in as well to ensure that he's not going to get caught out by a batch of Cossack plus a 4 Cossack shipment. So he is he's securing his position now with this next shipment, and should safely be able to safely gather and really get these villagers working over the next minute or two. Triple TC production is now being established. Barry takes his time to age up, and I think it's a great choice, especially considering what we know about Zoom's military shipments going back to back to back. So he might not have enough to actually push these blockhouses once he finds them. He doesn't even know where they are, but oh, actually he does. Looks like maybe age up vision or a spyglass from the Explorer may have revealed that, but That is some awkward positioning with the trees here. Getting the helps on these to siege is not going to be very comfortable, especially with the units popping out. That is one big thing about this map, is that it's littered in the center with trees. So positioning is very important, and you can tell Zoom just doesn't want to go in against that. It's just too uncomfortable. And we do see a artillery foundry being started by Barry. He is up to age 3 now. He had that fast age up, but no shipment available as he sent 600 coin to get that age up going. And here comes the push with the Halbs. Lots of recruits here. No Strellet. But we do have veteran recruits coming in. Castador is really being annoying, poking these vills that we're trying to get this artillery foundry. And let's see if he's going to be able to hold this blockhouse position. Explorer goes down. Halbs are getting sniped. Veteran recruits going to be coming in. 23 of them remain. Minutemen being called as well, but blockhouse does go down. We have another batch of musketeers being produced behind this. Castador is being sniped. I like the choice there by Barry to focus on them, but getting very close to these Halbs, which are dangerous to fight against, and more goons coming in to support. This is starting to look a little bit concerning for Barry. He's sending the Falconets now and continuing that recruit production, so that does make sense as a composition, adding in that boundary finally. But really quite popped for Russia to be at 65 pop space right now. Is not very comfortable. I wonder if he's going to add in a culverin here or just more Falconets. So far it looks like the Falconet. It should be getting a batch of recruits. 31 vills for Russia. As I said, he'll have a slight eco advantage early on, but if he doesn't get a second TC on the floor pretty early, he's going to fall behind very quickly. As Azum has been more and more comfortable in this position since he forced back those H2 military pushes. He's going to get another 3 vills out every, what is it? Honestly, is it 24 seconds, 25 seconds? I think the villager production time is 25 seconds. I could be mistaken, but either way, every minute, at least 6 vills should be popping out from Portuguese. So that's going to really snowball economically. And he does have a lot of hunt remaining too, so it's not that dire of a situation where he needs to get out of the space. Though these villagers have their thoughts of their own. Turning back though very smartly. And Zoom, does he see? He sees the 4 Falconets. What is his gut reaction right as soon as he sees that? He uses the market, sells some food, buys some wood, and drops a artillery foundry. Very, very smart. Makes a lot of sense. It's the correct decision. You need at least 2 culverin when you see that. But it is all a game of timing, right? So he's got that up very quickly. He needs to sell the resources that he has, and he needs to probably cancel some of these villagers. He's got a culverin in queue. He's going to lose this TC, so he'll lose that population space. So he needs to prepare for that. He's sending Castador as well. This is starting to get a little bit scary for Portuguese. He is on a timer, and he is going to lose this TC, and need to get up at an emergency house, which he is doing. But if he can get that second culverin, he'll be just fine. It looks like his opponent picks the right time to back up. Doesn't want to force the issue. Switching into Cossack production and sending 7 from the home city. Nice little victory there for Barry. I would love to see a second TC from him if he could afford it, but I just don't think that's going to be his game plan here. House going to be going down to those Falconets. And Barry can just kind of keep going around the base, maybe take out the 2 trading posts. But he looks like he might be getting a little bit too aggressive here. He doesn't see the culverin just yet. But he will get at least one of these sniped, I do believe. Culverin trying to get 2 or more kills. And with the pathing here, this is going to be very possible. Oh, 2 HP on this Falconet. He unpacks. That is sometimes the wrong decision, but it looks like it's going to turn out to be the correct one here. However, the goons looking for them, not able to find them. Wow, he still has line of sight there. It had to be a spyglass. Yeah, he used a spyglass there. Saw that it had 2 HP. I wonder if Russia will heal that up. We will be watching that very closely, but 2 TCs now for Portuguese, and he is beginning to look a little bit thin on Hunt. He needs to claim this one. If he can do that, he'll be just fine, but a little skirmish here. Cossack going down to the Dragoons. 53 vills for Zoom and 40 for Russia. But 3 more popping out now, and that wood trickle does count as well for about 2.5 vills. Another blockhouse going to be going up as Russia continues to cement this middle portion of the map under their control. Cossack being queued, vills, Strelet. So mixing up this composition quite a bit, which sometimes works against Russia, as you really do want to get those upgrade cards on these units and make sure you get the veteran techs as well. It can be pretty costly, and you can kind of end up with some a large mass of units that aren't all that great on their own. But you know what? Sometimes composition means more than anything. And that's what we're going to see here from Barry. He's going to probably try to get that upgrade veteran Streltsy at the back blockhouse. But man, that is a scary artillery mass. The positioning, again, is going to be extremely important here with these trees in the marshes. It's going to be very difficult to get into melee against artillery. So I will say that I think Portuguese has a significant advantage in this situation, having the Culverin and just overall having an artillery advantage. However, the Cossack looks like they're going to commit. There are some helps and goons here to fend off the Cossack, but the recruits are heading straight in. Oregon smashing tons of them. Falconets getting their volleys in, but Culverins are sniping them. But is it just too much of a mass? 46 recruits still remain. However, there are 2 Oregon guns now. Actually, 1 remains. I thought there was just 2 or 3, but there was 4 for a moment. Oh, sorry, that's a Culverin. Okay, so he has cleared up all the threatening artillery. And I would say that's a pretty good fight for Russia, though he did lose those Falconets. Overall, I think it went really well for him, cleaning up those artillery pieces. And that's the thing, as Portuguese, you do need a bit of a front line. There wasn't too many helps there, and so that amount of Cossack plus recruits can just kind of march in there and just... Wow, that villager is a tanky one. We do have veteran Strelet and Strelet combat coming in. We do see this fort sneaking up. It always feels risky to drop a fort because they take forever to build, but that one will get up since he's on the opposite side of his opponent's base. Russia is now cleaning up some vills here on the Hunt, though, so this is looking pretty good for Russia, I think. He has a score lead, too, which is always a great thing to be able to say as a Russian player. 1K coin coming in. Yeah, I think this is where it just gets a little bit difficult against a civ like Russia. If you don't win early, they scale pretty well, and if they control the map, their food economy typically is better off than your own. So we'll see how Zoom tries to get back into this game. I mean, it is pretty even score. You would like to have a 3rd TC just for the trickle and extra villager production, but I think he's going to start having to go into mills, and he does have some berries in base, so that's good. With that 1K coin, I'm curious if he's going to go into artillery again. Barry adding Culverins preemptively, kind of anticipating that his opponent's only choice is to add artillery at this point. Oh, and look at that. We see lots of organs. Did I just totally miss that? Where was he training? Is he able to train them from the fort? I think he can, right? Maybe not. I don't recall. But he is training some from that artillery foundry. And look at this. The organs are going to get some insane volleys. They turn back. Oh my gosh. He's a little bit too afraid to unpack right now. But he could get some massive kills. Oh, I feel like he should have been able to get something there. That's a little bit sad. There's so many potentially juicy shots there. Oregon's trying to get in position. They're actually going to get a volley if the goons can get out of the way. Oh, it's just like a couple half volleys there, unfortunately. And the Culverin getting a little bit too close, but actually perfect position as the Oregons don't have that line of sight. Probably don't have the church upgrades either, so 2 go down for free very quickly. And now Zoom adding in his own Culverin as more Oregons are joining, but It's just really painful to lose those 800 resources for nothing, especially when it could have got a few free shots there. Cossack here in position for a blind raid, but there are Dragoons. Hopefully Zoom can catch this and not get caught off guard and lose too many Vills here. 1k wood going to be coming in. Vills going to get raided immediately, but the goons are on the way. And yeah, we're getting to the point where Portuguese, they are building those mills. They're kind of stuck in their base, trying to get back out and get this hunt. But I think Russia is just going to continue to move around the map, get into position to deny resources, and just cause headaches for Portuguese, as we do see those Strelet coming all the way over. Now getting new order regiments to boost those Strelet even more. Actually boosts all the infantry, so the recruits boosted as well. These guys now have 118 HP, 13 attack. Still not all that powerful, but when you add in the numbers, it's got 69 of them right here. More coming in behind. And look at this economy. He's about to go to age 4 as well. Russia is just rolling right now. And he is adding a second TC. Love to see that. That's really, I think, cementing his position in this game. Complete map control, hunting. Let's take a look at this vision, actually. And do we have a church that is... No, we don't have a church that's giving him additional line of sight, but now getting Hanseatic League for the Torps. Russia is going to be rolling on all cylinders. It's going to be aging up very soon. I think he's in a great position. Logistician age up. I'm curious what that even gives. I have no idea for an age 4. I'm going to watch that closely to try to see what it is. But Zoom at 74 Vills. He does have his mill established, just one of them. Adding that third TC back in, he is popped. So both players do have lots of population space and units. And, you know, it is interesting, just under 60 Vills for Russia. But that map, that's just how important the map controls. When you don't have to spend resources on building mills or estates, and you're just gathering natural resources, and it's valuable resources, not like trees where you're just kind of stacking up something you can't really make units with. Nice upgrades coming in for Barry as well. I think Russia's in a very good position. But, you know, Portuguese, once they get late game, they are not to be messed with either. Some goons going to be going down. Oh my gosh, very good splits there. Like 4 or 5 different dragoons getting sniped by those Strelet. Yeah, just really good trades so far. No goons able to be split off to address these sieging Cossack here. Will he send a couple? He's sending some halbs that way. Eventually, oh my gosh, but look at this, 6 Culver in here. Okay, so Zoom is not playing anymore. Ooh, 4 on 6, 1 and 1 goes down. Some organs here as well. With good micro, Zoom could actually be in a fine spot. So organs are going to be really difficult to deal with. But Barry, oh, let's see, did we find what he aged up with? I think I missed it. Was it? It can't actually be the blockhouse thing that gives him more population space, right? Okay, it's the fort. Okay, aged up with a fort over here. However, I mean, artillery late in the game, they can be super impactful. Explorer going in the snare, and looks like a 1-for-1 trade. Goon's gonna go in and clean that up. Pulverin in the back, but the supporting units are really thin for Portuguese. I mean, look at the amount. 77 Strelet. Factory coming in, Culverin in queue. Now it's feeling a little bit awkward for Russia as he is getting forced back, and he does have a smaller economy right now, but he is going to be getting these Culverin Royale, a larger number of them with the upgrade. I hope at this point one of these guys has church. Okay, Zoom has a church likely for the line of sight upgrades. He's getting his arsenal upgrades as well. Let's take a look at Barry. Does he have an arsenal? He does not. So Zoom has the advantage, I would expect, with the line of sight, but not the Culverin Royale. So he is forced to back up here. Looks like he will get a TC and some Vil kills for his time, but he's got to be very careful. Doesn't want to lose these organs. The goon's going to be going in. But yeah, the artillery advantage swings back over to Russia momentarily. And he's actually, I would just go in with the goons. Culverins the culverin number advantage going over to Zoom. Organs are now here, sniping the Strellet, and more organs filling in behind this. But that annoying fort could really be impactful throughout this game. It's going to cause a lot of chaos and attention from Zoom. But he is really getting this eco set up. He's got his own fort. He's got 92 vills. He's got his mills. He's looking pretty good for the long game. Organs are going to get some huge volleys here. The Strellet are guard status now with 149 HP. But they can't really stand up to organ guns. And Zoom trying to get to age 4. He is actually sending Cigar Roller for estate upgrades. Oh, there's a Kotsakir sniping some random vills. Just one estate is up right now. It's finally just getting Seed Drill. Oh, okay. Help's coming in. Oh, huge snipes from the Russian culverins there. That is going to force back Portuguese. Oh, and a double kill on the organs there. Okay, the push has finally ended. It was a very strong, very successful push for Zoom and Portuguese. But it's time for him to back up, try to age himself. Maybe he should have done that before losing the artillery. I mean, hindsight's 2020. Very easy to say that from my perspective, but he actually maybe needs to cancel these culverin. This is going to stop him from aging, and that could, well, you know what? The push is coming, so maybe he's making the right decision here. This is going to be very. I mean, 77 vills now for Russia. He is slowly but surely getting that eco close to maxing out, getting guard recruits. He's got frontier blockhouses, both factories, which is huge. He needs to make sure he places this one, though. I don't know where it's headed. However, the push is coming. And Zoom trying to get an advantage. He does spot the culverins of his opponent. He's going to snipe one for free. Tough angle for Barry to push in, trying to avoid that fort. And that's why he's going at this angle. And unfortunately, trying to make it to his own fort. But yeah, that loses him a culverin. And he's kind of forced to back up here. Gathering a ton of resources. Second TC back up. Oh, and another culverin goes down. Despite the culverin royale advantage, maybe he still doesn't have a church. Yeah, he does not. And no arsenal, so he's missing out on these line of sight upgrades. And I think that's why Zoom's able to find and snipe these culverin despite not being in Age 4 without culverin royale. So Zoom taking full advantage of his line of sight. And you can see these culverin too. I mean, you see the difference there. Barry cannot spot his opponent. He has so much less line of sight. And Zoom is, yeah, he's really taken strong advantage of that situation. Couple Castador going to go raid. That's so annoying. I love to see that. Organ gun still trying to poke culverin, moving forward, and they just don't see him. And it's just, oh my gosh, it's so brutal. 2 more go down. Zoom is looking to click up. I think he should back up right now. Start the age up. Let it come in and get your upgrades. You're doing a great job right now, but you need to get these units upgraded. Oh, the organ's gonna get huge shots on the Strellet. They continue to march forward, but many losses will be had. Oh my goodness. He will eventually take out these organ guns, but he did lose a lot of units. Let's see, he's down to 189 pop, but you got to remember they're so cheap, and especially at this point with 85 vills, 2 TC production, artificial fertilizer coming in. How many mills does he have on the map? 3 mills. No refrigeration just yet, and that might not actually come for a while. There's so many upgrades, so many cards that Barry would love to send. That's why Russia is such a great late game civ. You would probably want to get Eco Theory in. You want to get Advanced Arsenal at some point. You want to get the Toy Soldiers upgrade, of course. Actually, that one's just for mostly recruits, but... And they're looking to just siege down this fort. We have 80 plus infantry here. You don't know about this decision, though. Why is he's sacrificing? And the organ's popping. This is going to be devastating. He's going to lose everything. I don't even think he's going to get the fort. Okay, he will get the fort down, but at what cost? This is absolutely ridiculous. But doesn't matter. Oh my gosh. This is brutal. Oh my gosh. I can't believe how many units just died. Refrigeration is coming in. We have mortars coming. Howitzer upgrade behind it. I like the positioning of this fort, and the artillery foundry. Such a great position to just snipe down all these buildings so quickly. So maybe that works out. I mean, just the distraction that Barry's able to put on, taking out that fort, making the base a little bit less secure. It's just, I think he's playing this actually really well, despite how ugly that may have looked. And maybe Zoom thinks he has an advantage. A time to push now. He's getting his upgrades for Revolved. He's sending in Grape Shot as well. So this is going to be very, very scary. Even more scary for these Russian infantry at this point. Legion Dragoons upgrade coming in as well. The mortars have successfully taken out a town center. And these Strellet are just getting to be like really quite formidable units, other than when the Rebalds are here, and that's when they're gonna really get cleaned up. So where do we go? What does Zoom have to add into his composition? Does he need to add anything? He's got his 3 estates. He's got cigar rollers in. He also has lots of upgrade cards that he could be sending that he wants to get in eventually. He's looking to push, and he's looking to do some damage now. There are 5 culverins there from Russia. So artillery will be hugely impactful throughout the rest of this game for sure. A spy being added in for Zoom. If you can remember to put him in stealth and use that line of sight, that'll be a great advantage. Goons going in, trying to snipe artillery. They're going to get 1 culverin immediately. Very good snipes by his own culverin. And again, I think Portuguese winning the artillery battles here. Will it be enough as we have Guard Strellet running in on the organs? Yeah, I don't know. I think, yeah, it looks like Portuguese has to back up here. And that's where it gets a little bit frustrating. You're making, I think, the right units as these howitzers still doing damage in the Portuguese base. Finally now being addressed. Oh boy, this is just, it's just chaos when you have all these Strellet just flooding in. He could even send some in from this left side. He's got a couple blockhouses over there. That would be another nice move to add to his strategic arsenal. He's got a shipment available, nothing sent yet, but man, look at these resources. Absolutely ridiculous. Villagers gathering at over 1 food per second on these mills, which he has 4 of, and just 1 estate. So he's got 3,000 coin in the bank. He does have the 2 factories on coin, so that helps him quite a bit there. Howitzer finally going to be going down. Cav combat now coming in, and Guard Cossack, that is going to be brutal. Just flooding Strellet and Cossack into the base of the Portuguese economy is going to be very difficult to address. As I say that, I'm shocked by the amount of Rebalds here. We really need to see some balls at some point to just secure this up, because this is exactly what's going to be happening over the next few minutes. Just floods of these Russian infantry as they get slaughtered by these organs. Wait a minute. Attack move here is being a little bit weird. One of them gonna go down, but yeah, that's balance of powers coming in from Zoom to boost up his coin economy, because I think it was a bit low there. He does have 4 states though, so 93 vills. These Strellet are doing their job and sniping some economy as they lose their lives in the process of that. But how many TCs? Do we have all 4 TCs? We do indeed, but wow, just 20 villagers on food for Portuguese is not the right recipe. You can tell just who is set up more successfully for the late game at this point in time by the distribution of villagers and what resources they're on. Oh my goodness, we even have age 5 coming in, or Barry. Despite all the sacrifice he's been making flooding units in, he is able to afford the 8,000 resources to age up to H5. And these organs, there's a lot of them. They are scary. They are very strong. They're going to take out this fort very quickly, but I don't know how far they're going to be able to get. There is always a window that is a little bit scary when you're trying to close out a game going to age 5. You need to make a decision. What is your first shipment? What is your first thing that you want to do when you get up there? I think he's going to opt to sell some wood and get the Imperial Cossack and Imperial Strellet upgrades rather than economy, because I think at this point it's you know, Portuguese still has a potential to do some damage here. So the age up was the 2 heavy cannons, which are annihilating some castadors. No lock on. But what do we see first? Imperial Cossacks. We have refineries coming in, age 4 upgrade for the estates, and we have recruits coming in. So maybe not going for the Strellet. Will this be enough? The age 5 upgrade 40 Cossack. They are what, double upgraded? We have Boyars and Cav Combat. Do we have an arsenal? We do. Okay, the arsenal upgrade is coming in just now. So they're going to be probably around 600 HP 1 pop units. And here they go. They're trying to get in on these Ribalds, but a good positioning by these Dragoons. There's just too many. Way too many. And 58 hand attack is insane. Going to be up to 540 HP. Full surround. I mean, for the amount of Dragoons that were there, they did a pretty good job, but huge reinforcing batches behind this. Heavies look like they may have been dealt with by these Culverin. But Russia has defended this. They have their capital being added, and I think Zoom sees it there as his entire army gets cleaned up by just pure cavalry. The counter composition did not really defend those organs very well. Nicely played by Russia here. I really like how he did this. He went for a timing in H2, and it just kind of developed into a full economic advantage. I just want to see the chart to see the villager count first. Villager population, as Zoom was idled for quite some time. It was pretty close, not too far of a gap for Portuguese, and that's what you got to do as Russia. Keep it close, and then eventually you get ahead like this. It might take 25 or 30 minutes, but you do eventually get a nice economic advantage, and that's exactly what Barry did. Hope you guys enjoyed this game. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.